most of the men that are struggling with bondage are trying to break free from it, right? Like they get done with porn and masturbation. They're like, God, I'm so sick and tired of this. Jim, this is the last time I'm doing this. And then 2 days later, exact same place. It's the last time I'm doing this. Then a week goes by. I made it 6 days. I can never get past that 7 day. Or I talk to hundreds of guys. I can never get past 30 days, Frank. How do you reach a 90-day mark? So what they've done is they've labeled themselves as somebody that can never accomplish X goal. That's an identity. That's a lacking of a self-belief in your own ability to what we call create a porn-free life. So you want to create a porn-free life, it has to start with your own belief is, can Frank become the man that can live a porn-free life? And I think that's why the bodybuilding, the success in entrepreneurship were so pivotal in my story, because it built internal self-belief. It built confidence that if I do the work, if I stay consistent, if I deny myself what I truly want in the moment for what I want longer term, I will succeed. So for me, when I chose to quit porn, failing was never an option. Like when I said I'm done with it, Frank was done with it. Most of the men say they're done, but don't believe that they're actually going to be able to overcome it. So what keeps men in bondage is their limiting self-belief about how they see themselves in the world.
That's really good, man. Well, it's interesting. As I'm listening to you, I'm trying to tie everything together and link everything together. And it seems to me, and tell me if I'm wrong here, that your faith in Jesus, your fairly newfound faith in Jesus, created a watershed moment where you realized, I need to take care of this gap in who I want to become. And your faith in Jesus was the impetus or the motivator that led you to this point where you said, you know what? I'm God's child. I'm God's son. I have what it takes to overcome this. So your belief, your self-belief, which I think is a real thing, and I think that that's really important, it was really rooted in your identity in Christ. Is that accurate?
Oh, 100%. And that's a really good distinction there to make, though, because a lot of times when I talk about self-belief, I think Christians here believe, and they're like, well, I believe in God. I believe in Jesus. Like my identity
exactly.
is in Christ. And that's where it should start. So yes, we know who we are and whose we are. That's where the identity is formed. But it's got to come down one or two levels to what is the belief that you're holding true about yourself.
Yeah.
You're telling me that you believe that this God that you now have living inside of you resurrected himself from the dead? You believe that, and you believe that same power is living inside of you, yet you don't believe in yourself that you could break free from this bondage. We need to actually reassess, what do we actually believe? So I already had all the confidence in myself, Jim, right? I was very egocentric. I was very confident, almost to the point where like, I was proud to be an asshole because you can't touch Frank because I'm better than anybody I walk into. That was the perception that I had about myself. I was the biggest guy. I was the strongest guy. I put myself in circles where I made the most money, was the most attractive. I dated the most beautiful women. So for me, I had all the self-confidence in the world. What Jesus did for me, though, was it gave me the belief in the ability to transform and change who I saw myself as. So I had projection of this confidence, but I also had insecurities about being this insecure 13-year-old kid. Jesus showed me that he can break that away from me, and his confidence, his spirit, his power is what's going to become the confidence that I now hold within myself.
Well, and here's the deal, man. I hear you talking about the ego thing and your self-confidence, but you also exemplified tremendous amount of humility to confess your sin, to openly, without any kind of guilt or without any kind of shame from being caught. You just went out and did it. You didn't wait to get caught. You made it happen. So there's a lot of humility there, and people think that humility is weakness, and I think humility is tremendous strength. So I just want to applaud you for that. I think that's awesome. And I think, guys, if you're struggling with any kind of bondage, whether it's chewing tobacco, porn, drinking, whatever it is, man, start taking care of that now before you get caught or before something really goes south and your life is ruined forever. And so